All right, on today's episode, we're going to be talking to a husband and wife duo, soulmates. That's right. We're going to be talking about entrepreneurship and what it's like to be a dual husband and wife DJ team here in Silicon Valley. Mauricio Mejia live. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.
It's Mauricio Mejia live. Entertainment guru, Silicon Valley entrepreneur, author, and speaker. It's Mauricio Mejia live.
Today, it is an honor and it's a pleasure to have two very special guests. And I was sharing with them backstage that why they're special to me. And I'm just excited to be bringing them onto the show today. So I want to welcome, I'm going to introduce them as soulmates because that's truly what they are. But individually, Charlene and Mike, thank you for making the time to be here today. I know you guys have busy schedules. You guys got life going on. But thank you for being here. And I'd like to just dive right into it, talk about our journeys here, and all the magic we're going to be creating in 2024 and working together. But again, welcome, guys.
Thank you. It's such an honor and a pleasure to be here. We're so very humbled.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
it's well deserved. You guys have earned where you guys are at today in the industry, as humans too, right? We good people deserve good stuff, and we got enough craziness outside in the world that it's good to be here and share some positive energy and
absolutely.
talk about some great things that you guys are doing, because you guys are making an impact right now. You guys are actually holding it down. So and what I mean by holding it down right now, the San Jose, Silicon Valley, post-pandemic, just like other cities across the nation are struggling to keep bringing back their vibrancy, their energy. You guys have been holding it down for a long time, and I want to dive into that. But before we go into that, guys, I want to talk about your guys' journey, and we're gonna go back to when you guys first met, at least, or something. We got to take it back, guys. We got to take it back because I like I said to you guys in the backstage, is you guys have such an amazing energy. Your vibes, when you're together, you guys can see you can see the love, guys. It's like, guys, like what's yeah, it's something, because I'll tell you, it transfers through your music.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Who wants to start first here, guys? I mean,
I'm always gonna go ladies first.
all right, the gentleman. We should have put you in seat number one then, but it's okay. It's all right. Here we go. So, Charlene, talk to us. You know what? Tell us the truth. Tell us the truth. Tell us the truth.
I know. Yeah, there are two different stories of how we met is the same, but how we perceived each other during that moment is two different stories. But
he thought you liked him, right? And he was like, yeah. So
There we go. I'm gonna be taking notes. Okay, let's just tell the story. Make sure we have the facts.
you're gonna fact check there.
yeah. No, so this is great because I think for many just know Soulmates as our DJ married duo. And they see our relationship and all that, but definitely where we are now has been a huge journey.
Yeah.
So we actually met in 1999.
1999.
Damn, 25 years ago.
Yeah.
When you guys were like 10 years old or what? What happened?
Right?
Yeah, she was
Me too,
18 and I was 19. Right?
So we met in 99. I was actually going to college at the time. I went to college at University of the Pacific in Stockton. And during the summer of I think it was my sophomore year, I stayed on campus, and honestly, back then there was nothing to do in Stockton. But you either went to Sacramento or you went to San Francisco.
Right.
So one summer, my brothers was like, "Hey, you should meet us over at City Nights."
Oh, man.
But
what year is this?
This was 99.
99. So platinum.
This is Club Platinum on Wednesdays in the summer.
So I used to run City Nights on Fridays and Saturday nights. I used to do City Nights on Saturday.
I must have met you.
Yeah.
I used to promote for Chuckles and Company.
Yeah. So we've definitely crossed paths there. Here,
Yeah.
I ran Saturday nights because that was their Latinos and other night, and then Fridays was the X, right?
Yeah.
Like it was the white folks, right? And then Thursdays was the Asian night. I was like, come on, really? Like the Platinum Nights? Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, at the time, the rave culture was completely underground.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Funky techno tribe in the house. Oh, yeah.
Super, super underground.
Yep.
I was never
World.
I was never a part of that, but Mike was. And then also drum and bass was slowly emerging. Coming
Man,
up
I
to
remember
the
those
mainstream.
days.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this particular summer, then the small room,
Yeah.
it was the jungle room. So
Yeah,
they
the
were
front
doing,
room. Yeah.
So my older brother was just like, you should come down. They're opening up a drum and bass room. I had no idea what that was. So I made my way from Stockton to San Francisco, hung out with my brothers.
Yeah.
But I hung out in the main room.
Yeah.
And by the end of the night, I was like, you know,
Well, there was no social media back then. There was
wasn't.
none of that.
No.
Cell phones were like a rarity, you know, unless you were balling, you had a cell phone.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
Nothing. So I was treating it like high school, right?
Yeah,
Guy
yeah,
comes up, you know, because I'm like old fashioned like that.
Right.
So no one came up, no one asked me to dance.
I object on that statement, by the way. I can't wait to tell the real
the
story.
real truth here. Huh?
But
All right.
at some point, I just decided, you know, I'm just going to start enjoying myself. And then I turn around as I'm dancing by myself and I see this guy and he is
It's
not.
like stalking you, right?
No,
Just like, no,
actually, no.
All right.
He was dancing like no other guy in the top 40s room. So in the top 40s room, right, you have
Oh,
you
man.
had all the guys grinding up on the women, right? This dude he was doing some fancy footwork.
Oh, yeah.
And he was wearing this bright button down shirt, but it was open, and he had like this black t-shirt and it had like bungee, like
That's so 90s
dude,
right there.
it was so
That's so 90s. That's your like Belle Biv DeVoe
it
days.
really
Like, yeah,
was,
like the
yeah.
90s.
Yeah, and he was wearing what I called them rice picker pants.
First of all, those were messenger pants. They were
But now
in
they're
Urban
messenger
Outfitters.
pants.
Had to be.
So you know, speeding up, I
Yeah.
saw him dancing, and I was like, dude, this guy has some funky footwork. And the next thing you know, he like turned.
Oh, he was
towards
housing
me.
you. He was like,
Yeah, he
it
was.
like,
Exactly.
He
that was his way of throwing his pheromones out. Like, what's up, girl? Like, what's up?
Well,
you know what?
it worked because he asked me to dance.
Straight up. It works. It works.
It works. It
Yeah.
works. It works.
So you know, he asked me to dance, and then he took me to the drum and bass room.
Oh
that
shit!
night.
It was on now.
And I was like, and just in that like hour of us meeting, I was open to this whole culture that I knew nothing about.
You were
Like,
having fun.
oh my gosh, it was, you know, and the people know how I grew up. I was I grew up in a semi-sheltered Filipino household. At the end of the night, he asked my brothers, because I went there with my brothers, he asked my brothers for permission to get my contact information.
Wow. All right.
And my brothers, I think.
How old are you guys like back then?
I was 19 and she was 18.
All right, there you go.
So they were just like, yeah, whatever, man. If she says yes, go ahead.
Yeah.
And
All
believe it or not, 6 months later, we got married.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
We
shit.
got married after 6 months.
We skipped a lot of stuff in between.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's that.
Yeah,
that-
we've been married for 24
you
years
guys didn't
now.
play around.
Oh, we don't recommend it.
Yeah.
No,
We don't recommend it at all.
you don't recommend it at all. But yeah, so
Wow.
I mean, that's how we met. So we met when I was in college. We were out.
And
on
what
a
were you
Wednesday
doing,
night.
bro? I mean, so you're jamming at the clubs, and
Yeah. So,
so let me ask you. All right, so you're sheltered, right? Come from a probably
Mhm.
strict Filipino family, right?
Yeah,
They don't mess
yeah.
around.
Yeah.
You're out at the clubs. Give us a little. Are you Filipino too?
Yeah. I
All
am.
right, all
Yeah,
right,
but
all right.
my friend DJ Rated R says I'm Mexican though. Go on. Well, you can ask him.
You're more Latino than Filipino.
Hey,
Uh huh.
Judge me by my cumbias.
There you go. There you go. So what's going on during that time? I mean, God, you just took me back to memory lanes, man.
Yeah, so I was very rewind back about
Yeah.
2 or 3 years before that that year. I was actually able to meet a bunch of friends that
Mhm.
work for a promotional company. And at that time, they were also handling the cages
Yeah.
throughout the Bay Area. Because I don't know, for those of you guys who know about the cages,
The
clubs.
the cage handlers. You know, when it first popped up, you guys know DJ Playboy? Playboy?
Yeah,
Yeah. Playboy used to handle the cages at my clubs here in San Jose. They took that shit serious.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, no, that
it's an
was
art form.
yeah. No,
Seriously.
like, no, girl, you're not going up there. Like, no, bro, you can't go. I'm like, wow, I feel discriminated. Why not? Because you don't got fancy footwork to go up there. Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I was dating someone older than me. 3 years my senior, and so they were sneaking me into clubs.
Nice.
So I was able to experience that whole scene. And
21
then,
and over scene too.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so then at that time, it was always about who you knew.
That's right.
And, if you're going to be a part of that life, you're going to learn about that life.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, I got hooked up with promoting. I used to promote for Vertigo
Yeah.
for 21XL. And
Yeah.
then after that, I ended up getting the job with Chuckles and Company.
Yeah, I know 21XL well. They were
Right?
from LA. Yeah.
Exactly. And so, of course, you probably wouldn't have seen me
Dude,
because
you're
I was kind of
taking me
kept a
back.
secret a little bit because I was underage,
Yeah.
right? So I always kind of worked behind the scenes, and I was perfectly okay with that. I'm here like interacting, learning the business, getting to see some amazing stuff most of my peers have never seen. And that night, I literally just got done passing out the flyers. I
Yeah.
remember we never partied until we finished our stack,
That's right.
and we promoted, and now it's time for me to have fun. And
Normally you're done by like 12:15.
yeah,
Yeah. So
exactly.
that normally you get everybody because everyone's already inside the club.
Mhm.
So we had to go bomb
Yeah.
all the parking lots.
Yeah.
And I remember we used to stack flyers, right? There was no
Exactly.
social media. We were
Yeah.
literally hand to hand. I
Yep.
used to call it hand to hand combat or guerrilla marketing. Got
Absolutely.
to the point where I was like, you know what? I'm going to work smarter, and I built a billboard, a mobile billboard.
Smart.
21XL actually started doing that in LA with their parties.
And it's all about the details. Like, for example, people would put the flyers in front. I always put it at the door because
Yeah.
I knew that they had to reach the door.
Right.
I knew that because back then you didn't have key fobs.
If you had the right angle, you can get them right in, right in the door jam. So that like I would get it in between the doors. So that, like boom, like where you had to put the key, you had to grab my flyer.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
you wanted to be different, right? Because you wanted
Right.
to at least try to like keep my flyer. Because at the end of the night, the mess that we would leave behind, because everyone would just toss the
Toss 'em.
flyers, right? So
Yeah.
crazy stuff,
Yeah.
man.
And then I was
And
going
then you go inside, you start partying, right?
yeah, partying. But a lot of it too was entertaining.
Yes.
We did a lot of entertaining back then.
Yeah.
My friend Will was from Chicago. He was visiting. I've always been a huge house music lover, house
Yes.
music dancer.
Yes.
And that night, where I normally grab my water because I didn't drink back then,
Yeah.
was
Not
kind
like
of
we do today, you know?
right. The line was kind of full, like it was like long. So I was just like, "Yo, Will, let's go to the main room. Let's go to the big room."
Yeah.
And I see this girl. She looks beautiful, man. I mean, she had
Yeah.
the zip up in the back pants.
Yeah.
White, her hair all curlered
Yeah.
and blow dry. Back then, the big hair was like in.
Yeah.
And BB top, I think.
Yeah. I so
Right?
imagine this right now. Like,
You're
right?
imagining-
yeah, I'm like, I'm so visualizing this, right? The
You know
little
what I mean?
BB
Yeah.
diamonds right
Oh,
across,
gosh.
you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like sunflower or whatever it is
Yeah.
that she's wearing. It smells so good.
Yeah.
And my friend Will, has been drinking, and then I've had a couple of shots as well, of water, of course.
Yeah. Huh.
And I told my friend Will, I'm like, "Hey man, see that girl that's saying no to all these guys asking
Yeah.
her to dance?"
Uh-oh, here we
And see,
go.
that's what I don't understand.
Yeah.
I saw her turning down all these guys. Like guys
Yeah.
were tapping her. She's like, no
yeah,
thanks,
like,
no,
no
thanks.
thanks.
Right? And I told
Yeah,
my
I probably
friend,
was one of those guys like, hey, girl, you want to dance?
Right.
Dance by yourself? Then. Like,
Seriously, right?
I don't want to dance with you anyway.
No, I was watching. I was watching this for like a good 10 minutes, which is creepy as hell, but
Yeah.
still.
Stalker.
Right?
So he was.
But yeah, I told my friend Will, if that girl gives me her name, I'll spend the rest of my life with her.
Ooh, damn. Damn.
I did.
This is confession time.
But
now. Wow.
at that time, I just got out of a 2 or 3 year relationship also.
And I had
Uh,
gotten out of a 2-year relationship. I was probably out of it for a few months.
you guys,
and
are,
I
you guys
was,
are both vulnerable in here. Wow,
yeah, I
okay.
wasn't trying to jump into anything serious. So I said,
6
you know
months
what?
later, bro, you got married. You
I
showed
Right?
up.
It's crazy.
Oh, yeah. Back in
We
the
still
day,
have
you used
it.
to write, like, let me get your number, girl,
And
on a
pager.
napkin. Yeah.
Yeah,
no.
you couldn't just share Instagram or
No,
WhatsApp
no.
or
Yeah,
nothing.
email.
Now it's like, what's your IG? You know,
Yeah.
what's your Insta?
I know,
Yeah,
back then.
exactly. Oh god.
Yeah.
What's your TikTok? Whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Back then, you actually had to call someone.
Yeah,
Snapchat.
you don't even have to. You don't even have to call. You just
No,
text them like,
right.
"Hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Yeah, who's it? Oh, what's up?
Yeah.
I don't like what she's saying. Forget it. Delete.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, so you guys meet 6 months later.
Yeah.
Magic happens here, guys.
Yeah.
Wow,
Well-
congratulations! Well, something happened, right?
Yeah. Well, also like then we started having a family. So
Well, 6 months already. You guys are.
Well,
whoa.
you know,
Well, we proposed after a
Let me
month.
doing the math, okay?
Yeah, well, we
So-
got engaged after a month, though. I just knew that she was going to be the one.
Wow,
I just knew. And I wasn't scared of anything. I mean, the only thing scared, I was only
bro,
scared
are
of
you saying?
losing
Are
her.
you serious? Like right now? Like I'm gonna. Like you serious? Like that's
Yeah.
some. That's
Yeah.
deep.
Like,
I
he-
just
he
like,
definitely
knew.
did.
I just knew. And even if she would have gone away, I would have been thinking about her for the rest of my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's deep. Mike, I gotta tell you, bro. Seriously, like this is a first of this kind of show today. I'm like, that's why I'm telling you guys. I mean it from my heart. Soulmates is what you guys are, what you guys translate, and what you put out when you play your music.
Yeah.
Because that music, it's fire.
Oh,
Thank you.
Yeah.
thank
No,
you.
it's and again, I have seen DJs from all around the world. I have been around. The sound that you guys have, it's a unique sound, and that's because of what you guys are, that energy that you guys are putting out. So
Thank you.
You know, we really respect that. You know, I wanted to thank you earlier. Well, you know, but I just wanted to listen as well.
yeah,
You're one of the pillars. You know, when we walked into this great hall that you call Nightlife,
yeah,
one of the things that you really get in awe with before you look at the pretty, you know, paintings on the wall or the granite on the floor, you see these beautiful pillars.
yeah.
And these beautiful pillars represent the people who have built and held up the roof, literally. And you're one of them.
Thank you.
So when
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
when you say that, when you
Yeah.
say that you've listened, it
Mhm.
means a lot to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're grateful.
Well, it's an art, right? And for me, if you don't know my journey, I fell in love with the scene at 15 years old, passing out flyers in some of the hottest nightclubs in Hollywood. So I remember when I came up to the Bay, it was just a different vibe. So where I made my mark was when I got accepted to San Jose State. And then I got into the nightlife here in San Jose.
Awesome.
And that's the one of the first nightclubs that I did was with David Garcia. And I would, back in the day, were San Pedro Squares, that they used to be called Hamburger Mary's.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember.
So we did a party called Groovy Sundays. And that's where we I grew up in an era, you guys grew up in the same era probably, where I saw no color lines, right? No gender lines, no color lines.
Right.
I mean, shit. LA is just is crazy. Even though there's its own version of segregation.
Yeah.
But I grew up. The nightlife that I was exposed to is where you can be gay, straight, Latino, black, Asian,
Yeah.
white, purple, blue, whatever you want. It
Yeah.
didn't matter because when you were on the dance floor, house music brought everybody together,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So I mean, I'm telling you, like it was just crazy.
And
the
that was a
energy.
beautiful time. And
That's
you got to
so
remember,
cool.
don't think cell phones. You did not see a single screen.
No,
Not a single person tweeted or
No.
posted a post. It is literally where you escaped.
yeah, no,
You know,
smoke and mirrors,
You
man.
literally escaped. And whatever your problems were,
yeah,
as soon as you got to that front of the line and you can
Yeah.
already hear the beat,
yeah,
you forgot about your problems.
yeah. No, it's an energy,
Yeah.
right? It's a frequency. It's sound,
Yeah.
sound energy, right?
Yeah.
So when I got my break here in the Bay Area, what I noticed is that sound, the sound, even though we're not that far apart, Oakland was hip hop,
Mhm.
funk, old school. San Francisco was eclectic house,
Right.
salsa.
Back then,
Yeah.
it was active.
Yeah.
Cruising nights, weekends,
Yeah.
it was active. People
Yeah.
were parking, walking around outside of their cars.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a lot of
Like,
I
activity.
think
we-
we caught the tail end of all of that.
Yeah, we did. So
before-
the social media, definitely changed the game, but we got to enjoy it at such an early stage that it was, kind of what you guys are experiencing, right?
Yeah.
For me, it was about hand-to-hand combat, right? It was just a tactic that I didn't know what I was doing until, and it was like, you don't know what you don't know until you're
Yeah.
doing it, right?
Exactly.
And then as
Yeah.
I started to see that, hey, this works. So I started to get I had my routes, my people, and then I could afford a cell phone. So I had a cell phone and I was,
Yeah.
collecting numbers, and that's how the journey started. But I was able to get a pulse of what they wanted.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what
Absolutely.
you're talking about right now.
Yeah.
You're-
Absolutely.
You're talking about that. You're able to pick up on those things. So,
No, absolutely.
and you guys have been holding it down. So that's why it goes back to, again, thank you for what you said. And I appreciate it. I didn't mean to go on a whole tangent on me, but it's cool to see that other people can acknowledge that.
No,
as
thanks
well.
for sharing.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing. Because I think sometimes we take it for granted, like we take it for granted, knowing the definition of things, knowing the history and the roots. And it's not like you have to know because, to enjoy the nightlife, to be
Right.
able to, in a sense, get away or to just, share in this vibrant scene that we have, especially here in San Jose and in the Bay Area, you don't necessarily need to dive into the history. So the fact that
No.
you explain that,
Yeah.
it allows people the opportunity to experience and appreciate how, this roast was made. What were the spices
Yeah.
What was the temperature that it was at? I think you did it very well. Yes, and that's what we do now. Nowadays it's a little bit different. In the past, you actually had to roll the dice,
Yeah.
and you didn't know what the party looked like until you actually got there.
Oof, that's
And in
great. Yeah,
most
you're right.
cases,
Yeah.
right? In most cases,
You were hoping that the club was going to be packed. You're like,
right. And by
yeah,
the time that you got there, I mean, you basically settled with that, and you pretty much stay there.
yeah,
Nowadays with social media, you can actually experience it before you even get there and make a decision.
mhm,
Whether that decision is based on the actual picture or a version that you understand through the 10 seconds or
mm,
1 minute that you see, right?
yeah,
What we do now is we do kind of like a live assessment,
yeah,
right? And we take a look at to see what is happening, and then we basically create this continuity of success, right?
yeah,
We know that certain things work, certain things don't work, and then we introduce new concepts,
that's
right?
right.
But more importantly, we really, really pay attention, and we actually look at it from the span of long term. We make adjustments, in long
Yeah.
term. And so that's really been enjoyable, man. I mean, you know, a lot of when we first came in here, the houses were very divided. The
Yeah.
houses, like, if you DJ'd at one house, let's just say house A, you couldn't really DJ at house B.
No.
You couldn't really DJ in house C, maybe sometimes, but not all the time. There were a lot of things like that.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing that we wanted to fix right away, because when we came in, we were just friends. We were friends with the owners. We were friends with the DJs,
Yeah.
regardless of any house,
Right.
and we really
Well, they're
enjoy-
They're clubs. I mean, if you think about it, they're night
Yeah.
clubs. Club.
Right.
The root word club
Yeah, club.
is you're cliquish, right?
Right.
And that was part of, like, if you think about the root of where I came from, is I wanted the 10% of the elites, right?
Right.
Like, I knew that I didn't want 100% of one club. I didn't care about your packed house. I just wanted all the hot chicks that were in there. And the good looking guys too,
Yeah.
because I didn't discriminate. I'd hand pick. And if you go to 10 nightclubs and you get 10 people out of each nightclub, or 20 people, that's 200 people right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then those 200 people start inviting their friends, and then you got 400 people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I just knew numbers at a young age, and I was
Yes.
like, boom, I just need 10% of everybody, and we got a party going on. And if my party is better than your party, and looks better, feels better, smells better, product, it's you guys ever watch American Gangster?
I
right?
love that
Yes.
movie. Oh my God.
It's like
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
Blue Angel, right? Don't
Yeah.
fuck with Blue Angel. You
Yeah,
don't need to cut it up.
It's already a great
Exactly.
product.
No need.
Yeah. Yeah. The point is that when you produce great quality,
Mhm.
you'll get it, right?
It's knowing what's being made in which houses.
Yeah.
That's really the key, and there's a lot of things that I saw, man. I mean, I come from an organization. I'm not going to say the name because, unless they pay you, because I
Yeah.
don't want them to pay you and sponsor you.
Yeah.
But
no.
I work in the largest HMO provider in California. And in that industry, I'm going to tell you, you learn a lot. You
Mm.
learn a lot of practices. And one of the practices is that people are giving money away that are, thousands and thousands of dollars every month, right? Thousands of dollars per person, per family, whatever it may be. But they only use the service like every so often.
Mhm.
So when you come in, it's not that you're paying, like, let's say a $500 copay or a $50 copay or a $5 copay. I don't look at you like that. I don't look at you as a customer that's only paying that.
Mm.
I look at you as a customer that's been paying $25K.
Yeah.
And I want you to stay there. I want you to stay and be with me.
Yeah.
So when we work for businesses, when we produce programs, when we cater and cut and sew DJ teams specific, okay, and you can interview any of my DJ teams that we manage, and there's about 4 or a little bit over 40 plus DJs that we.
Congratulations on that. So that's the entrepreneurial spirit right there, right? That's the entrepreneurial in you guys, that you guys even created a business out of this. That's
and we've helped other owners also now start to communicate with other owners.
right.
And, at first I have to admit there was a fear. How can we give you this position as a director when you work for someone who possibly is my competition? And I go, if I only worked for you, I wouldn't know the product anywhere else. And how would I know to create something so different than the next person next to you?
Yeah.
If I work for both of you, I know how to differentiate those products. I'm not
Yeah.
going to make the same cake for you because I know you hate blueberries.
Yeah. That's
I'm
true.
not, you know what I mean? And I know to make you strawberry.
Yeah.
They already make strawberry next door, so I'm going to make you blueberries,
Yeah.
right? depending
I'm
on
gonna
what
make
it
you the
is.
best of this.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And I can control that a little bit more because I have
Yeah.
a say in it.
Right.
Versus if I had to work with another director and say, hey man, we're already doing Soulful House here. Do you think they're gonna change? No, right?
Yeah.
They're gonna try to knock me out the water. That's a
Yeah.
normal thing. So what we do instead is, again, we create a synergy. We
Mhm.
understand that this bubble is no longer in the space, 8 years ago where we used to just stay at one place.
Yeah.
We know that our consumers travel.
Yeah.
We also know that everyone's trying to run for it with different experiences. Knowing that market and really like implementing small tests of change and collecting data is huge. And that's something that we do in the healthcare organization that I work for 18 years.
Got it.
I've applied 6 Sigma lean methodologies, which I don't know
Wow.
if people practice that in nightclubs.
Yeah.
I've created, discoverable spreadsheets. Certain businesses, I ask for data. How much do we make? What's the impact of DJs?
Yeah.
Right? I do a census poll.
You got a
between the workers.
science going on
Yes.
over here. That's interesting because again, we were in silos back then.
Yeah.
Right.
You've created some kind of uniformity, right? Just like everything in life, right? Everything evolves.
Absolutely.
The music has evolved. You guys have a special skill where you can remix the old school music with some new vibes and some new energy that you just revived something that
Right.
some people can't even think of. They can't even come up with think of a creative way of making it happen. I mean, it's like a version of a mashup, right? But you're doing
Yeah.
a house version remix,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I don't know. It just
Yeah.
So it's just interesting how the dynamics, right?
Yeah.
It's I'm so sorry. I was talking too much. Did you want to say
No,
anything?
Yeah, no, actually,
Yeah.
I want
do
to
you
hear
think?
your
Yeah.
take on it, though. I
Yeah.
mean, and from a female's perspective, right?
Right.
You definitely can rock and command the floor. I've seen it. And the way that you make people move. Tell us what that experience is like, because there's not a lot of female DJs. Well, there's still more men DJs than females,
Right.
and the female DJs that have represented, I mean, fortunately and unfortunately, there's,
Mhm.
just like in the men's too, there's been some real good ones, and then
Yeah.
there's been some frauds.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen that, experience that at Coachella, right? Everyone
Yes.
that made big news. And there was a point where people became glamour DJs, right? They were playing pre-mix or pre-made mixes already, threw on the headsets, and then they just play with the knobs, right?
Yeah.
Like, because just like boom, boom,
Yes.
boom, like. But it's an art and it's a skill,
It
and you've
is.
learned it. And how does what's your take on it from a woman's perspective?
I will say this, that personally, I never really saw my journey come to me being a DJ in this lifetime.
Yeah,
So, when we initially were talking about how we met and all that, majority of our time, Mary, we were raising our kids,
okay.
right? And
How many children do you have?
we have 3 kids.
3 kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of
Oh,
them just graduated college.
Whoa.
Yeah. Her
Another
name's
one is in college.
in
You
college
guys
right
didn't
now.
fuck around. You
Yeah.
guys immediately when you guys hooked up, it's like, we're taking
Yeah.
getting this shit out
Our
of the
third
way.
one's in high school. So,
What?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
So, and I actually came from the same healthcare organization
All
that he
right.
works for. I was an executive.
Oh,
the youngest one in Northern California, as a matter of
Yeah.
fact.
So my work ethic has always been strong.
Good.
My dad was always a hard worker, and he was also an entrepreneur.
nice.
So I didn't know that was going to rub off on me. But until we started having family, I was just like, it was always about like work and just like leveling up.
Yeah.
So fast forward to when we started DJing together, I was very green.
What year was what? How long ago you guys been DJing here?
2018 we started. We started in 2016. But we really, really didn't get heavy into.
Yeah, professionally, 2017, 2018, professionally, that's consistent residencies in at least 2 or 3 venues.
How did
Yeah.
that
And then-
idea come up? How did you? Okay, so you guys are in this medical field. You guys are raising your children.
Yeah.
How did that even?
So the DJ, so Mike has actually owned turntables back, ever since that we've been married. So, he's DJ'd and, with scratching and all that. But how it came up for us was that we took our kids one day, we did a little field trip over to the tech.
Uh-huh.
And this was like years ago. And they actually had a controller in the tech.
Mhm.
A DJ
and
controller.
a DJ controller. And we just saw our kids like play on it. And what was really cool about this installation was that as you're scratching or touching buttons or whatnot, you had like all these like lasers just respond. And our kids were just so into it. So Mike was just like, we should really get like a little controller for the house. They can, mess around with it. Whatever. He ended up buying a small controller. Instead of the kids messing around with it, he started messing around with it.
Yeah.
I think you bought it for yourself, bro. I think you use the kids as bullshit. You're like, the
man.
kid. It's the kids want it. The kids want
But it was
right?
really nostalgic, right? Because he's had turntables, but he's always had to sell them because we needed the money to raise our family.
Yeah, I sold my turntables so that we can move out.
Twice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Every time that we needed.
Do you have turntables now?
I do. I have 8 at home.
I have 8 turntables.
Bro,
Yeah,
all you need is 2, dog.
But it's actually helped.
Or maybe 3 or 4, maybe. But to be OGs, right? 4 turntables.
Well, when my business partner Mauricio asked me something, we're gonna get all the equipment for our DJ school.
That's all we say.
I'd be like, oh, I already have the capital, Mauricio.
Yeah.
We already have it.
Hey.
It's already in storage.
We're just manifesting it, Mauricio.
Yeah.
So then he started just playing and I was like a proud wife. I put him on Facebook Live, and next thing you know, our friends are like booking him for private gigs. And so I was going with him to his private gig. Now, at this time, I actually left my executive position to become an entrepreneur.
Okay.
So then, so by the time he
what did you break off to? What was your journey?
health and fitness.
Okay.
I'm a fitness coach, actually.
All right.
People don't know I still am. So,
All
but
right. Punch King's hiring. So yeah.
yeah,
you're hired.
so-
Don't even worry. You
appreciate
could be the
that.
DJ, the resident DJ.
Right? If it's during the day, I'm down for it.
All right, let's go. Done. Fritzy hired.
Serious, right? So I took upon, I guess you can say, like managing his book of business.
Yeah.
So I was doing the negotiations. I was making sure he was getting paid and all of that. Yeah.
That's
Because if you ask him, he'd be like, "Oh yeah, no, it's
I got
fine.
you. It's
Yeah,
free. I get free.
Everything's free.
Yeah.
Oh hell no!
No, hell no.
Because in my mind, anytime
Yeah.
away from our family,
Yeah.
I have to make sure that time is spent to be able to bring back something to support them
Damn.
somehow. I mean that's just how it goes.
That's some tribal thinking right there.
Yeah.
Like, hey, fool, you're gonna go hunt.
Yeah.
You better bring back something.
man.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
So
You come back empty-handed, bro.
Right?
You're sleeping outside with the
Right?
dogs, bro.
No, seriously.
So, this is me coming out of not, being home, helping raise the kids, right? And then all of a sudden going out with him when I was never doing that. So my mindset was like, well, if we're going to be out together, then this has to impact our kids in a positive way.
Yeah.
Right. And how do you do that? Well, you got to bring home the money.
That's
Right. So one day he comes to me after like doing a 3-4 hour gig, and he was just like, oh, you should try and just like relieve me for like 30 minutes one day, just so I can go to the bathroom, eat. Because when you DJ by yourself, you have no
I
time
want
to
to
do
go
any of that.
socialize, you know.
Right, and so you just need that little break. So
Uh-huh.
I said, well, if I do, you have to teach me how to DJ.
All right,
And he's
fair
like,
enough.
okay.
Fair enough. All right.
So, and
Hey,
that's what he
you were
did.
like, damn, I got my break reliever right. I got my reliever now.
I mean,
Like,
that's
Yeah.
that's what I told her, but I really had a sole purpose why I needed her to be out there with
Yeah.
all right. All
So,
right.
and that's kind of the beginning of Soulmates. And then when
Mm.
I started taking it seriously, one day we were in the living room, and for me, I was already making rules. I was like, well, I'm going to DJ. I'm only going to DJ house music.
You better not be talking to some chicks. 'Cause I'm gonna
Yeah.
turn it up
Oh,
like,
my
what?
God.
All right, hey, that's my
Right?
husband. Get on the mic and shit. Start hating
Oh,
on poor
yeah.
guy, man.
But
Wait, you were there last week?
No,
Yeah.
bro,
Okay.
I'm telling you, man. I'm like, I would have never hired a husband-wife duo. And
Yeah.
I'd be like, hell no.
yeah.
I could just see it right now. Like, oh, is that motherfucker dancing with that chick? What?
Yeah.
What? Hey, get on the mic. Hey, yo, that's my husband. I'm like,
But it's different
But
when
it's-
you have a husband and a wife that's been married for 24 years.
There
You're like,
you
hey,
go.
go talk to her.
yeah,
dude.
yeah.
You don't talk to her MCs. Get her out of here.
Tell her what's up. Tell her
Go
what's
get her a drink.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's it. You just asked for a number?
Yeah,
Oh, let me give it to you.
Yeah. Flip.
No take backs.
Yeah,
it's no refunds. No refunds. Final
This
sale, man.
conversation is.
But one day we were sitting in the living room, and then we were taking this seriously. And I was like, dude, I know what to call ourselves. And I was like, we should call ourselves Soulmates. Because, soulful house music,
Yeah.
we're married. And we were just like, oh my gosh. But then, of course, the E in Soulmates is a 3, which represents our kids. Because
Yeah.
everything that we
Damn,
do,
that's
yeah, 'cause
that's
everything,
dope.
you know,
Hidden
and then the
meanings
businesses
of
that we have together has, you know, involves the kids. And, you know, it's all about our family.
It has
So,
purpose.
mhm,
There's intention,
mhm.
right? And then everything. It all ties together.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So coming into this, it's always has been, there was no selfish
Right.
or, you know, vain or, you know,
you guys were meant to be, man. It's just what the.
it was
We'll see.
because,
We'll see.
yeah.
One day at a time.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know, bro. 20,
Yeah.
25 years together.
Yeah.
You
But,
know.
you know, and to be honest,
Yeah.
though, we really, being married for so long, being hella married,
Hella
we,
married, bro.
yeah,
Hella married.
we really needed to find a, we
We're gonna
needed
put
to,
that highlight right there.
Right.
Hella married.
Yeah, that's the new hashtag.
it
right there.
is. But we needed to find a hobby together. We,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, we lived such different lives growing together and
We-
growing up.
I had
that we
friends in the
didn't-
nightlife still, you know, after meeting her.
No.
And back then she didn't go out.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of
No
people
one
don't
saw
know, and this is a first for a lot of you guys that are going to be watching this episode or that
Yeah.
are watching this right now.
Yeah.
She's an introvert.
Yeah.
She used to hate crowds, so she was never out. And while I was still out because I needed that energy, those
Right.
relationships, you know, I had friends that I've known for decades
Yeah.
that she never even met.
and
Wow.
they never met me.
And we've
yeah.
been married, and you know, I've had my ring, and people knew I was married, but they've never even met
I
her.
even looked at your hand. I want to see like,
Yeah.
is your ring
Yeah,
full?
yeah,
Like
it's a
what?
ring.
Yeah,
My partner's married and his
Yeah.
wife. I'm like, these guys, they have some serious, fucking crazy, funny conversations that I find enjoyable, right? So I'm enjoying you guys right now.
our logo isn't a heart. You know, it's not a solid red heart like it's cute and soft and that
Yeah.
everyone knows is love. If you look at our logo, it's a maze. It's a black line and a white line traveling as a maze.
I've seen that and I
right?
love you guys. I'm telling you, you guys have done it right.
We had
I'm
some really great mentors.
Yeah,
We're
we
so
had a
blessed.
yeah.
Yeah.
Where do you guys see this? Where do you see your music career going? Because you guys, I've shared this with you guys just recently when we had conversations. And by the way, thank you so much. This is going to be the first time that we're working together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last year we had a fumble, right? Because we were thinking
Yeah.
about kicking
Yeah.
off Detox last year. This year I decided I was going to roll the dice hard. I'm going back. I'm getting connected with my that creative side
That's
because
awesome.
I need an outlet right now.
Yeah.
This is business that I'm doing, and this is why we're working together, right? Because you guys, and thank you again. You guys are. I shared with you the rationale of why I brought the DJ lineup that I did, and it was crazy because I went on Pulse, right, on my past relationships, my past experiences. Detox Sundays was born in San Jose.
Yeah.
Doubletree Hotel was the first of it, and then
Absolutely.
we ended it at the Fairmont Hotel with a bang. And we don't know what the future is, but they're knocking at the door. But right now, I need to get my feet back in the game.
Right.
I got to get warmed up because I'm a little rusty, right.
Right.
But guess what? Muscle memory comes back quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that I'm
Yeah.
in the last month, my production has started picking up. I got a good graphic designer that I'm working with, and now I have the sound that I want completed now. Now it's a
Nice.
matter of all of us.
Congratulations.
Yeah, now
Yeah.
thank you, and it all comes together as we're creating magic, just like you guys create magic, right? It's
Yeah.
just we got to do it.
And
So-
that's the thing, you know. There's this old saying, you know, you wanna go fast, go alone. You wanna go
Mhm.
far, let's go together. You know what I mean? And it's
Amen
and it-
to that. Amen to that.
And-
That right there, I've heard it many times, but that you hit it right on the money here.
Mhm.
that's what we want, man. You know, one of the things we noticed also in the DJ industry is, you know, when we first came in, people were getting phased out.
Yeah,
They were getting phased out, and that's not a negative thing necessarily. Okay, that's just the evolution of nightlife.
yeah.
You know,
it's
there's
not
always
forever, guys.
There's going to be a sound that's going to be fresher.
Yeah,
That's going to be able to connect with the generation that's currently in the dance floor or
Yeah.
at the bar, right? But one of the things we really wanted to change are two things. Number one, we noticed that there was no next step
yeah,
unless you were, you know, had money and you opened up your own club. There were really no director positions.
right,
A lot of that was held to the promoters,
right.
who most of the time were not DJs themselves. You'd be lucky if they were, but some of them were not. They're great at what they do.
Yeah,
Right. So we wanted to, number one, create that niche. And then number two, we wanted to create viability.
right.
I really believe that there's this lie that people have been told that if you hit a certain age, that your life with the party scene is over.
Mm-mm.
But it's not.
Mm-mm.
From a consumer
Just
standpoint,
your taste buds
Right.
Yeah.
change. you gravitate from the 18 and over, right, to the 21 and over, to the ultra lounges, to
exactly.
the cigar lounges,
Yep.
to the whiskey bars,
Yep.
to your taste evolves.
Right.
Yeah.
If you're dancing at City Nights and you're 45 years old, you got a problem.
I
And-
don't know if we can be friends.
Yeah, and your buying power is also different, you
Yeah.
know? And so how can I
Exactly.
still, and a lot of those people are turned off to go out because their complaint is, oh, the music's not as good as it used to be,
Yeah.
right? That's a niche.
Yeah.
That's a well that needs to be excavated and drawn from. There's
Yeah.
water there.
Yeah.
So
And you need small venues.
Mhm.
Again, when you have small multiple venues, you are now orchestrating, right? Again,
You know, we're strategically looking at the nightlife. There's this whole other sector that we're building through our plant boutique, Momstera Lounge.
right.
And so even though it is a elevated plant boutique retail experience, we have a lot of different activations happening through that spot.
yeah, including Ladies First DJ Club, which
Yeah.
is the only
Yeah.
all-women DJ
yes.
Yeah.
club and community in the South
I was not
Bay.
going to forget that, but I'm glad you brought that
No,
up.
yeah,
yes.
you know,
Congratulations on that. Yeah.
Thank you. No,
Talk about
that's
taking
been
it to the next
blessing.
level, right? I
Yeah.
mean,
And through
They played with
that,
snake hips and everything
Yeah.
already. Like
Yeah.
the first 2 years.
you know, and through that, not only do we have an active female DJ community,
right.
we're also helping cultivate new females
That's
by
right.
teaching them how to DJ in a very safe, respectful, space. I mean, you're learning how to DJ in a plant store.
And because we're already directors, they don't just get to learn the mechanics. It's the ethos and logos of it all.
That's the business
How do
side
you
of it.
how do you conduct? You know, what is expected? What is
yeah.
you know what I mean? In any other profession, before you go in there, there's this whole like employee orientation and
Yeah.
a cultural how do I say this, academic learning that you have to go through consistently. If you want to be a nurse, you're always going through classes. If
That's
you want to be a
right.
doctor, you're always reading journals. DJ should have the same thing because business changes.
That's right.
Yeah.
You can't just be the best player in the world. You also have to have business acumen.
That's right.
You have to
Yeah.
also make relationships, not just with other DJs, but with the bartenders, bar managers,
Yeah.
right? General managers, owners.
I'd love to do a conversation on one of your like classes. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, we
I
would
mean,
love
if
that.
anything, I'd like to even learn what the curriculum looks like, right? It's got to be structured, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it
And
is.
in that curriculum, we got to have like where you bring an outside person
Yeah.
to speak, or because it's critical, right?
Yeah.
You can't be. It's not that you can't, but you got to work on your strengths, right? You can't be the chef and the server at the same time.
Right.
You got to be the chef in the back doing your magic while the server delivers what the magic is, right?
Right.
So those are some of the things that I think are important in teaching the next generation
Absolutely.
of entrepreneurs, right?
Yeah.
Entrepreneurs. They're in the music industry. One, we have to identify what it is. You're in the music industry, you're in the entertainment industry, and you're technically, you're the one that's controlling the crowd. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's a key part, right? And you have to understand the vibes and what the ebbs and flows are of the business, because you don't want to keep the dance floor packed all night, because then the bar makes no money. You got to be able to.
And
Yeah.
even
Back and
before
forth,
that,
yeah.
Mauricio, I'm telling you, like a lot of people don't know the preparation that it takes. There's this whole concept, and please forgive me, okay, if this is kind of crude, but when us guys step to play, whether we hit that ball or not,
Yeah.
when we get back to the dugout, our guy friends are like, man, it's all good, man. That was dope. You know, you bro, that ball was super fast, man. But you get it next time.
Yeah.
But when a woman steps into play, I noticed people move up.
Yeah.
They underestimate already and I'm gonna tell you, one of the things that we emphasize, and this is kind of one of the secret sauces that we're gonna say live,
Yeah.
is we level the playing field by saying, look, ladies, you're not gonna allow them to just slide forward.
Yeah.
You're gonna actually hit so hard that
Yeah.
they're gonna slide back because they're gonna be afraid.
Yeah.
Right? Like when they walk in, they don't have a controller that they bring in that they put on top of the mixer and the turntable.
Yeah.
They can play turntables.
Yeah.
They can play any equipment.
That's right.
Before they graduate
It's
from
like an
our program.
instrument,
Yeah,
right? It's
yeah.
like an
We
instrument.
invested money to own every single type of an equipment. That's one of our policies. When
Yeah.
we get a residency in downtown San Jose or
Yeah.
anywhere, we duplicate their setup.
Nice.
And people are like, how can you do that financially? Because it's an investment.
That's right. That's
There's
right.
nothing that system can throw me, and which has happened,
Yeah.
where technically where I'm going to get stuck.
Yeah.
I'm going to know it because I own it. I own that same equipment.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so when
Yeah,
these,
you need to practice on the
You
tools,
do,
right?
yeah.
Right.
Well, and when we were coming up in the scene, I mean, I was safe because I was always with my husband, right?
Yeah.
But I noticed that I was in San Jose, the only active working female DJ. And yes, there were some other female DJs, but they were coming from Oakland, maybe LA,
Yeah.
San
East
Francisco.
Bay, yeah.
They had a certain look,
Yeah.
right? I mean, I'm freaking at the time I was like 37, 38, and I'm coming in on my mom dress, like, I mean,
Like, that's not hip.
so, but seeing that week after week, I'm just like, dude, where's my tribe,
Yeah.
right? Like, and I knew that there were other female DJs, but we were just like, hey, how are you? But there
Yeah.
wasn't just this community. They were all rolling with other male DJs.
Yeah.
and there were possible
Yeah.
competition. So
Yeah.
And so when we're out, and then and I'm the one who is now having to, let's say, collect money,
Yeah.
or having to, do our bookings. I was noticing I wasn't getting a response
Yeah.
from these male owners. Or, but so when I Ask Mike, I'm like, hey, can you follow up? Oh, in 2 minutes, you get a response.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
those names will be listed in the comment
Hell
section. No, I'm just
yeah.
kidding. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. No.
so
You're like, hell no.
yeah,
no.
and I take offense to that
Yeah.
because me personally, I am an entrepreneur. I own
Yeah.
my own business. I know what it means, or how to conduct professionally and all that. Just because I'm a female doesn't mean that I can't actually close a deal.
Yeah.
For us. So
Yeah, you just got to set the tone from the gate,
Yeah,
and let it be known. I think that again, you
Yeah.
guys, I'd love to participate in your guys' school. I'd love to teach. Do
awesome.
a conversation on business, and then not only that, but
Let's
give them a
talk about that.
perspective of what it is from an owner operator,
absolutely.
and then give you guys all the the cues, right, of how to assert yourself. Because yeah, you're right. Unless you're Jenny, right? Jenny is
Yeah.
the only female operator that I know, and
Right.
she's been here forever and ever.
Yeah.
And I love Jenny. Jenny, she's just a great owner operator. She's a
Right.
hustler, though.
Yeah. She works hard.
If you know her background, you'll know what I'm talking about. But
Yeah.
she has a strong work ethic. So, and she commands that, and she commands respect no matter what. So we definitely should touch on
Yeah.
that and see what we can do. I think wake up that entrepreneurial spirit in all of these people as
Absolutely,
well,
Yeah.
and
Because
see what's up.
because what I tell these female DJs is the moment you start getting booked for gigs,
Mm-hmm.
that is your business.
Yeah.
You're an
Yeah.
entrepreneur now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You get paid for a
I
gig.
mean,
You're
We
you're
gotta-
now
we
a
gotta-
small business.
We got to teach them 1099s, pay your
Absolutely,
taxes,
yeah,
and
yeah.
seriously, because that's what can get people in big trouble.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And if they don't understand the bare basics of business.
Yeah.
so-
yeah, one of our last graduates is actually an accountant. So
Yeah.
she's in CPA.
Nice.
But yeah, one of our prime instructors is Cutso,
Yeah.
for the job
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
walkies.
Yeah.
We've had DJs such as Amami come in and talk, and it's been very enriching,
Yeah.
right? And again, they say the next step to being a master of something is instilling,
Yeah.
is being a teacher of it.
That's right.
And so that's
You
kind of like
guys
where
are
we're-
already there.
that's where we're heading, man.
Yeah.
I mean, but
Yeah.
we want to do it in a way that's natural, that actually we don't want to change the soup too much, because just like what you're doing with the nostalgic
Yeah.
and that particular diamond, diamonds nowadays, they're not cut all funky.
Yeah.
There are some,
Yeah.
but most of the people who buy engagement rings go for the classic cuts.
Yeah. Where do you see the future of Soulmates and the business model that you guys currently have? Where do you guys see this going?
We're gonna
'Cause-
give you two answers.
all right, go for it.
We talk about this all the time. I mean, to be honest, there's a few opportunities that we're working towards.
Okay.
But first and foremost, we're really trying to create, I guess, an agency, as you can say.
Okay.
And be able to be a music director for maybe one or two more
Okay.
spots, specifically here in downtown San Jose.
Okay.
Me personally, I would love to be able to DJ more during the day,
Okay.
and not so much in the nightlife
Got
as
it.
much, but really take the work that we're doing
Yeah.
with the workshops,
Yeah.
and really open it up a school.
Okay.
And being inspired by our peers over at Table Tutors, who has been number one supporters of us, because they're also a DJ school, but taking what they do and then also bringing it over here as well. So we're really working towards that.
So you
And
got an agency,
agency.
and what's number
Mhm.
2? Because we said 2.
What else are we doing? We have a lot, man.
Yeah,
Man,
we have a lot.
I haven't heard the one that I want to hear, but I'm going to tell you
So
because
you'll be happy
Yeah.
to know that we launched a YouTube.
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's through Monstera. It's
Okay.
called Houseplant Sessions.
Okay.
I launched it last week.
okay.
And
Now you got to stay consistent with the content. You got to keep building
Yeah.
content. So
yeah, absolutely.
And
So-
yeah, we actually are recreating a concept that
Mhm.
we're trying to do it here in San Jose.
Okay.
A lot of people have seen it on YouTube. With huge artists like Usher and whatnot doing the Tiny Desk.
okay,
So we're launching the Tiny Plant Shop
all right.
concept, which is an intimate concert space.
Where's your plant? Where's your shop at?
So located in downtown Campbell.
Okay,
People know where Blue Line Pizza is
Okay.
in downtown Campbell. I'm literally across the
Like
street.
next to the train
Yeah.
tracks.
how many square feet is your
Well,
plant?
we're 500 square feet.
Okay.
And oddly enough, Knox Cookies, which
Mm-hmm.
have a presence here in downtown San Jose, they're actually my neighbors. So
Okay.
they're right next door to us. So
Ever
but
consider coming to downtown San Jose?
I have,
Okay.
believe me.
Yeah, one thing you're gonna know about Soulmates is that we ride the journey.
All
we
right.
do, and we're just optimists that way. Like
Okay.
for example, one of our dreams is to someday, if not own a bar, be a partner, to a group that owns a
Thank-
bar. But one of
Thank
the
God,
things
I was
that
waiting for that one because I'm
Yeah.
ready to insert myself somewhere. I
Yeah.
need the music directors. Well, I can be the operator or but I was just waiting for you guys to say that because that is that's the trophy,
Yeah.
right?
Well-
that's owning and
Well,
operating your own
yeah.
business.
we're also getting practice too right now, and
Yeah.
and I'm sorry for interrupting.
yeah,
It's-
no.
one of the things that we love to do, and any other DJ directors out there want to, be a director for a group or a company, one of the advice I want to give you, and I also do this at my healthcare organization, is before I ask leadership for money,
Mm-hmm.
I really put into plan and design why it would be advantageous for them to invest, right?
Right.
And so, before I can ask to be partners with someone, I need to be able to know and understand what it's like to own a business. And
Yeah.
that's what Momstera has been teaching us.
Nice.
We're brick and mortar owners. We have a lease that we pay for. We pay for taxes.
Yeah.
We run. It's a small staff, but
Yeah,
we have
we do our
we have payroll.
marketing.
We have
I mean-
marketing.
Yeah.
And we're involving the community. We're part of the Downtown Campbell Business Association.
Yeah.
Yeah, I work
So-
with a lot of corporate sites. So,
And and part of the charm of there, and just kind of rewinding back
So
earlier.
you're gonna have to bring me a little it's a plant store, right?
it is-
Yeah,
plant.
yeah.
but
Like, you got to bring me a plant to my office now, or
Yeah,
we need
right?
a real plant in here.
Is that a real one behind you? I hope that's fake.
No, I,
'cause it's not surviving.
See, she
No.
know.
my girl's a professional. here.
Okay.
It looks real, so it must
Okay,
be
okay.
real. All
I
right,
hope
no.
it's- So it's called Monstera Lounge for a reason, right?
Okay.
So Monstera is a play on words of the actual plant Monstera,
Mhm.
right? But my girls actually named the business Momstera. So plant parent, plant mom, all that.
Mhm.
When we opened up the brick and mortar, we took our experience with the nightlife,
Yep.
and when you just tacked on the word lounge, I mean, people literally
Like
take it seriously.
people come there just to hang out, man.
loud.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
you
you
know?
got house music in the background and all that good
Oh,
stuff.
gosh,
oh, we've
yeah.
had some major players spin there. And, shout out to like Hen Boogie, who's played
Yeah.
there. Rated R, of course,
Yeah.
has played there.
Yeah, it's been beautiful. I mean, we
Buddy.
have an in-house system.
No.
So any DJs that come through, it's just like you just literally just plug and play.
We're gonna do a detox after dark.
Hey.
over there,
Right?
yeah.
But we have to be done by 11 though.
So guys, I want to be mindful of your time here.
Yeah.
Excited that we're going to be working together. You guys have an amazing, again, I'm going to reiterate, amazing relationship. You guys put your magic through your music. I'm sure that life, and we didn't go into the downs, but I'm sure that life has been full of ups and downs and a lot of, great memories and sometimes, not so good, sharing what you shared today. Let me tell you, man, life is a journey, right?
Absolutely.
I always tell people success is not a destination, it's a journey, right?
Mhm.
So every day we got to look at it as a success. When we made it today, fuck, that's success. We made
Yeah.
it, we made it after one of those nightlife crazy nights. That's
Right.
that's a blessing in itself. What are some of the things, and we'll wrap it up here, is words of inspiration. I want to hear from both, right? I mean, you from the male husband, you from the female wife, right? And then collectively as soulmates, what are some of the things that you would tell out there, the world that's looking and watching us right now that aspire to be in the entertainment industry? I always tell people, I'm like, you sure you want to be in this?
Yeah.
It comes with it. But what would be some words of inspiration?
I'm really going to emphasize this a lot. If you want a certain life, you have to live a life of that.
That's right.
Right. I know she kind of touched up on me inviting her, but the nightlife comes with a lot of things. And there's a lot of people that, go out and they're part of the nightlife and they're married, but it's a lot more single people.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that if I lived a single life, that I was going to be single.
Yeah.
And I needed my wife with me because, like I said, I can't live without her.
Yeah.
So I wanted to live a life at nightlife.
You're killing the guys right now.
I wanted to live a life, with my wife present. Right. And so same thing with nightlife or any entertainment industry. If you want to live that life, be involved, learn the business.
That's right.
Make the relationships with people.
Right.
Because nobody ever gets into this game and stays successful simply for the music. The music is a byproduct of everything else.
That's right.
Because if you meet the right people in the right community and you build that, you'll actually get more inspiration to create better music.
That's right. And you guys have done that. You guys have done that collectively.
So that would be me. Live the life.
I want to hear something because this guy's he kills it for the guys right now.
I come at it more from like the spiritual, like holistic. Just because as a female we're so targeted, in regards to how we're supposed to look, how we're supposed to feel. And then especially so when you're coming into the nightlife, right? And you're watching all these DJs find success and you start to ask yourself, like, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
Or am I not doing enough? Or should I surround myself? And we're already being judged as females as far as just stepping in and be like, oh, I don't, are you good?
Yeah.
So I'm always.
You're like, yeah.
Yeah, right?
Pretty much.
For me, it's all about just really living your life with purpose.
Good.
And living your most authentic life.
Absolutely.
And the way you do that is, not only, finding that journey for yourself, but you have to really surround your people with people who are going to protect them.
Yeah.
And that's so important, right? When, Brene
do
Brown.
Do you like DJing by yourself or do you have to always go with Mike?
No, I enjoy.
Tell the truth.
I enjoy DJing myself.
Right?
Tell
the truth.
I'll turn around.
I do DJ by myself, like at 55 South, like on a Thursday night, only because I need to work on my stamina. Right? I'm so used to taking breaks in between, and that's and it's an important skill to have, right?
And part of the reason why we broke off into single nights also is we wanted to also prove that it wasn't just a fad. Right? Like, yes, Soulmates is a brand, and it is. But we also wanted to make sure that behind that brand is also substance. Yeah. Right? We wanted to make sure that we can still show people a good night, have fun, and that's what we've been doing. We want to be authentic.
Yeah. So, if you get Mike to play one night and you get me to play,
it's going to be a different sound.
It's a different sound.
Different product.
I'm getting you guys both together. I'm getting you guys both together. Man. So, words of inspiration. What you didn't finish that off. What live with a purpose, be authentic.
Yeah. I mean, and honestly, be courageous.
Yeah.
Live life as tomorrow's not promised.
Ooh, that's deep right there.
And he always reminds me about that. And I think as we're getting older and we have a lot of our friends who are we're in the DJ scene, passed away prematurely. Yeah. Rest in peace, Jay Reese, who was one of our mentors. And honestly,
Jay Reese, I gave him his first break. I don't know if you guys knew that.
And, and his mentorship is really what led us to where we're at today.
Yeah. Even down to our logo, our brand name, our branding. We actually hired and shout out to CRTV. Who's a published, and Steezy, of course, of Define Studios. Both powerhouses.
He's our official photographer for Detox Tea. Hey, I'm bringing out experience, and we're gonna crush it. I'm going to tell you guys something you guys remind me of, and I'm sure you guys have heard of them. You heard of the housemen and the housewives.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello. They got to be an inspiration to you guys.
Oh,
because...
gosh. So some of them were actually, one of them, the housewife, I actually went to high school with.
Okay. They were clicky. They were like, when the housewives go on, they'd fucking tear shit up. And when the housemen, it was like they were fighting on the turntables, like, oh, yeah, like, So anyways, so
It's
you
Strong
beautiful.
but
team.
you
Yeah,
guys
for
are
sure.
you guys are the first duo that I see together. Those fools, they like they battle each other. I'm
You,
like, damn.
you know, we're really fortunate to have
Yeah.
like people in our community such as yourself.
Thank you.
You know, and those everyone who comes in and listens and talks to us. We couldn't do this without them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Music is a two-way road. You know, you're sometimes on the other side of the booth and sometimes you're on the other side of the booth, but
Yeah.
both sides are just as important. And I want to let you know, like, I
Damn,
really
that's deep.
appreciate, like, you know, our community. You know, it's not abnormal for people to come in and talk to us about personal stuff because there's two of us.
Yeah.
One of us can always step outside of the booth.
Oh yeah.
We're not the DJs that
Now you're
Yeah.
a therapist and
Really?
counseling and shit.
Yeah.
it's
Hey.
we
Really?
become a mom and dad, like seriously, and we don't mind because sometimes they're our parents. You know, they teach
Yeah.
us. So
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
good. I want to say again, very proud. I'm very excited that we're going to be working together.
Yeah.
Guys, congratulations on your
Thank you.
success. I
Thank
wish you
you.
guys nothing but much love and success and positive energy on your journey because it's not over.
Mhm.
2024 is only the beginning I'm telling you, I'm back in the game. Not that I ever left, but I'm back in and we're going to definitely do some big things. And I want you guys to think bigger. That I wanted to hear what you guys were going to say about what your goals are and the DJ agency, 1,000,000%. I think
Mhm.
that's needed
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, we're here to give people a good experience and make a lot of money.
absolutely.
And last but not least, have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and that's what we're gonna do, guys, on our opening of Detox Sundays this year.
Detox.
Again, thank you guys for being in here. I'm sorry I kept you guys a little bit longer than expected,
No,
but
this was fun.
we
man.
could keep going for another 2 hours, and I'm sure I'm getting the heat from my team already. But hey, guys, thank you so much for being
you.
here.
Thank you for having us.
I love you guys. I can't wait
We love you.
I can't wait to be on the dance floor because I'm gonna get my boogie on, even though
Hey.
No, definitely. Let's.
All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We
Soulmates,
appreciate you.
Charlene, Mike in the house.
We're grateful.
Mauricio Mejia live, Studio B, downtown San Jose, Silicon Valley. Let's go.
Let's
Let's
go.
go.
Mauricio Mejia Live.